Hello, hello, hello. There she goes. All right. There she is. Oh. Hang on. Cat doing shit. I love that the cat thinks she can do things so beautifully and then knock down everything. A cat has jumped up here, and now the dog's going crazy. All right. It's all right. It's all right. We'll get it situated. Thinking my doodles. See my doodles? Part of my doodling. Doodle. I do a lot of doodling. So welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. Hey Shar. This is what I do. I have, like, when I'm sitting here, if I'm listening to something, I have pieces of watercolor paper, and I bought the little ones, and then I just doodle, and then I turn on the other side. I write notes on them. I write my passwords on here, so I know that they're going to be in front of me somewhere. I can look them up. Maybe not a good thing, but I'm figuring if someone wants to break in and use my passwords, well, hey, God bless them. Well, what a day. I mean, okay. Let's put some stuff to rest. I just did a little TikTok. I did a TikTok thing. Man, the amount first of all, some of the astrologers that are coming out on TikTok, like, what the fuck? I mean, you guys are astrologers. Be astrologers. Don't be fear mongers. Base it on the facts of this is what the astrology is and this is what's going on. Don't start bringing in mainstream fucking media into your astrology. I mean, it's just, I can see it if you're doing it as a comparison, which I love to do. I love to say, hey, this is what's happening here. This is the astrology, kind of thing. But almost verbatim repeating word for word of what you're seeing on, I guess, CNN and MSNBC. I can never say those acronyms together, but about the fear, especially about this. We have a lunar eclipse first, okay? Got a lunar eclipse that's coming on Monday. Mercury is in shadow. I do have a workshop, of a one-day workshop for the Mercury retrograde, which is on April 1st, which is a Monday. Yes, it's April 1st, but that's the day Mercury goes retrograde. And I'm going to be doing a workshop on Mercury retrograde. I've never done a workshop on Mercury retrograde before, but what I'm going to do is this workshop is $50. And it's going to be based on your natal chart. So it's going to be a small class because we're going to go through everybody's natal chart on that day. So, and what we're going to do is that I'm going to look at where Mercury retrograde is in your chart in that class. And Erica says she's in. So Erica's in because Erica wants to know what the fuck is going on and why the universe is so fucked up with all this fucking bullshit. So Erica's in. So it's $50. It's on April 1st and it's 7 p.m. at night. So it's in the evening. So to join me. So we're going to go through everybody's chart. So the max I'll have is maybe 5 people in the class. 4 people probably max. So I can go through each person's chart and then look at pull up your chart, and then we'll look at where Mercury, Charlene's in too, because she wants to know what the fuck's going on too. To look at where everything is and how it correlates to your Mercury. Okay. How does that correlate to your Mercury in your chart? And is your Mercury forward or is your Mercury retrograde? Right. As we are building up to the April 8th, right? So right now we have the lunar eclipse that's coming up next Monday. And this lunar eclipse is an eclipse that we haven't had since 1995. So we haven't had an eclipse in Libra since 1995. So it is, there is a lot going on. There's a lot that's happening. Um, we have to look at, you know, somebody was doing the comparison to when the last time Pluto was in Aquarius and all of the kerfuffle with Pluto being in Aquarius. We'll start there. So Pluto was Aquarius back in 1778, 1777, somewhere around there. But George Washington, who is probably born with a Pluto Virgo, not too sure. I'm just throwing that out there. He was born, not with the Pluto Sag. Now, dealing with the Pluto Sag, this is a generation that has always had things instantly, right? So if you think back to even in 1777, when Pluto was in Sagittarius, well, it wasn't 1770, 15 years before that, when Pluto was in Sag, then they had things for that time pretty easy. Things were coming to them, they were able to get books, travel, go places. I mean, for that time in that era. And this was a generation that didn't know exactly where things were going or what things were. They weren't involved in the government. They could care less about what the fucking government was doing. They were into going to the pubs to hear the new poetry or hear, what is the new craziness coming out of France, and all of, what was the rhetoric of that time, right? And as the revolution was coming, we have George Washington having to take these kids who had no idea about anything. They didn't know about, wanting to have a democracy or wanting to have a place, that you had to fight for. They didn't understand that government wasn't the ones to have control. And he had mandated them to read this one book. And the book was, and I can't remember the book, but the book was basically about taking responsibility of your life, taking responsibility for what is going on with what is happening within your government, within your society, within your own self. And he mandated that they all had to read this book because they had no idea. So he was taking these young men and forming them. Now we have a similar society today, which is our Pluto and Sagittarius. And our Pluto and Sagittarius are ones that basically had screens all their life, that, have a phone, anything that they want, they can go on, they're connected worldwide. They're able to, be influenced by so many other things that are coming their way instantaneously and have a belief thought without even trying to figure it out to begin with. And it's just like, when people tell me, oh, it's going to be dark for 3 days and 3 nights. I'm like, how the fuck is it going to be dark for 3 days and 3 nights on the whole entire world when people right now are sleeping on the other side of the world and it's daylight here? Like having that kind of thought, think things out. It's like another meme I saw where somebody said, ooh, look at their grasses. Real grass is 33 degrees Celsius. And then they go onto another grass and it's like 67 degrees Celsius. That's artificial turf. Like, wouldn't it melt? Wouldn't there be some kind of smoldering going on at 67 degrees Fahrenheit Celsius? Because that's freaking fucking hot. Like, I don't know. But thinking these things out, right? Anyways, so we have this generation that's coming up. And they are the ones that are the ones that are going to be going forward. They are the ones that are going to be going to war. They are the ones that are going to have to figure stuff out. It is not like the generations before, and every generation complains about the other generation, no matter what. It's always happened. The music's too loud. This is too loud. Your dress is too short. Your dress is too loud. You're showing your ankles. You're not wearing a hat. You're not doing this. Whatever it was, there was always a complaint. But Every generation had to figure it out somehow, or they ended up learning from those responsibilities or learning how to figure it out. We have a generation that can't do that. A generation that can't figure out, oh my God, if I don't have the tap doesn't turn on and I don't have water, what can I do? Where can I go? My first thought, if water started going, I'd be down by the river and boiling the fucking water. You know, just that's where my mind goes. Who else has water? How else can you connect? Things along that line. But this is an energy, a generation that doesn't have that. And this is a generation that we're coming in to learn this. So now let's go into all the information that's coming forward right now. So we have a generation that is like so enthralled. Oh my God, destruction's coming to the world. Bum, 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 bum. We've had eclipses since time began, but they are transitional times. We know that. We can go back and we can verify that through the astrology, through what was happening at the different eras and the different times and the different degrees of when these have happened, to show you that, yeah, there's transitioning that's going to happen. And I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, there's a comet that's coming in, and traditionally, when a comet, and this comet has split its tail into three, we know that when a comet, or traditionally, when it has split its tail, it's a bad omen. Things aren't going to be as great as what we would like them to be. We had one come in during COVID. A green one, which was unusual because we've never having a green one was bizarre. We've never had that before. So we knew that there was something different, something new that's coming in on the horizon that's going to show us. And lo and behold, that's what it did. Now we have one that's coming in during this eclipse. Is it going to hit the earth? No, it's not going to hit the earth. Okay. Meteorites hit the earth all the time, just an FYI. So we have meteorites that hit the earth all the time. So this one's not hitting the earth. It is making a direct line towards the sun, and that's usually what it does. And to get the gravitational pull to continue around. It has a 72-year cycle around the sun. Now they named it the devil because the picture came out, and because of the way the tail goes, it looks like the devil. So they named it the devil. The Jefferson, I think, telescope, the new telescope that they have up there, got a picture of it, and it's just fantastic to see. And it looks like another like little universe, the head of it, and then these colors are spewing around it. And so it's very interesting to look at. It's very beautiful. And this comet coming in during the time of the eclipse, and this eclipse is over 4 minutes long, which is longer than usual. The way that the eclipse is going, it'll look like the sun is bursting out. Now, we know this is the first time that anybody in history have gone freaky deaky that we know of about the eclipse, about the storing up water, having all of this stuff. And hey, you know what? You guys should have that anyways. You shouldn't have to wait till a fucking eclipse comes along, because you never know what's going to happen. You could have a bad snowstorm. You could have, rain, whatever. Internet goes down for whatever reason. You should always have backup of water and food and everything else in your house. Anyways, I've been bursting at the seam with that since 2019 or even before. So this energy that's coming in, and just the alignment, we know that when the eclipses hit certain areas, certain things happen. When the eclipse hit in 2019, all right, an eclipse came in, it went over China and the areas of where the so-called thing came out of China. And in that area. So we know something's going to be dispersed. We know something's going to be happening. We don't know exactly what. We understand that there is energy also in Taurus. So there is some kind of rumbling, some kind of disruption that's happening in there. But I look at it as like, it's not really to be afraid of. It's something that we have to come into more of our spiritual alignment for. Something more to have us to shine our light even more. That's how I look at it. It's not to be afraid of. And it is in Aries. And Aries is, when eclipses happen in certain signs, we know shit's going to happen in that sign. When it happened within the Capricorn within 2019, we knew it was something to do with the earth and the structures and the structure of of the institutions and governments and stuff. And then it came over China. So how did that influence our government? How did that influence our structures? How did that influence our hospitals? So now we have it coming in through Aries. What does Aries represent? Aries represents entrepreneurial, new strength, new ideas. It also is the god of war. So we know that something disruptive, something's coming in that's going to be disrupting us, that is going to get us to really come into our warrior spirit. And that's how I'm looking at it. Stepping into our warrior self and putting on our armor as true warriors that we have to come. We have to come to a place to defend those who can't defend themselves. We are going to be called to stand up to those who can't stand up for themselves. And we're going to be coming here to shine our light the way that we've never shone our light before. The war is going to be on the astrologers. The war is going to be on the spiritualists and those who read tarot and oracle and all of those things. That's where a part of the war is going to come in, because Christianity is going to take a huge stand through this all. And it's going to be where they are wanting to debunk anything to do with astrology, with tarot or anything along that line. So you're going to be seeing that over the next, and that's one of my predictions. We're going to be seeing that over the next several years, if not over this next year. So there is this energy that's coming in. It is also an energy that's showing us that those who are born with Pluto and Sag are going to have to be taking up arms. This is a generation that doesn't know what it's like to have a conversation in a car without a screen. This is a generation that doesn't leave its house without its phone. This is a generation that has to have the password to all its Netflix or whatever it is to make sure that they watch their next, what is that, with the Kardashians or that yacht one, below something. It tells you how much I watch it, right? Below deck. Yeah, Below Deck. That's the other one that they watch. So this is going to be the shakeup of looking at the world with fresh eyes, looking at the world with newness, looking at the world where how can we begin to create something new? Can we begin to make something that we've never made before, but we're not sure how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. That's where this energy is coming in. And that's scary, because we're stepping into the unknown. I'm thinking about, even with the American Revolution, that was scary. They didn't know exactly what they were stepping into, but they knew that they had to step into something new, whatever it is. Same with what's happening here in Canada and the push that Pierre is making to the opposition, to dissolve Parliament so that they can go into an election. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know if it will, because he has to have majority of the House. And that means he has to get, Turban Boy onto the other side. I don't know if Turban Boy is going to come to the other side, since they just made some agreements that the NDP wanted. But who knows? There is disruption that's happening. People are seeing it. But then again, what difference is it going to make with the new government? Because that's the whole other part too. So I'm going to go into a different area. So this new government, when it comes in, what has it got to do? It's got to raise taxes, because it's got to fix the shit that's already been done. It's got to dismantle a lot of things. And that means a lot of people who had a lot of social structures under the federal government will no longer get it. They might even have to dismantle some of the things that the pensioners are getting. Whoa. That's huge. That's a huge thing. So this is where it's like a whole new learning on how to do things in our world, how to create things, how to stand in power and change. That means there's going to be a lot. You think people are going to be losing their house? A lot more people are going to be losing their house than ever before. But it's having to take things apart to put it back together. And it's not going to be easy. This eclipse is an awakening. And that's what we're stepping into. We're stepping into the awakening. Mercury's going to be retrograde during the April 8th eclipse. Mercury's in shadow during this lunar eclipse. That means, and it's in shadow in Aries. So it's not like it's, so it's like information is going to come in so fast and so furious that it's going to be sometimes very difficult for us to digest it, to understand it. Plus, it's hitting with Chiron, and it's going to hit Chiron several more times. And in hitting Chiron, that means there's going to be, there's going to be some hurt butts out there, with that. People are going to be feeling very wounded. People are going to be feeling very overwhelmed. And this is like, how do we find the freeing energy? How do we find our freedom? How do we step into our freedom? When people are so used to being told right now on what to do and how to do it. So we are coming forth in a very serious energy that is getting us to awaken in new ways. And awaken in a way that we are becoming the warriors. Mars this weekend will be going into Pisces. So it's going to be a huge spiritual journey of the warrior. He doesn't like Pisces. And he's going to be with a guy who doesn't like Pisces either, and that's Saturn. So the two malefics are coming together. So we're going to see disruptions when it comes to oil and gas and water. We're going to see where people have problems with, it could be your blood pressure. It could be anything that has to do with water or liquid. So things to do with liquid. We could see even, lava is a liquid. So the lava coming out, more disruptions or eruptions that happen with that. So because the two are coming together, they are shaking, they're moving things up to reorganize the way we approach things, to reorganize the way that we stand in our power with things in our life. And it's not going to be easy. It's not. I would love, and the thing is that part of my journey is to be of a higher truth, to come to you with truth. And that's really the high vibration. The high vibration is truth. And sometimes truth is not easy. Truth is, it's not, fluffy and lollipops and beautiful butterflies flitting around. It comes in with things that we have to start doing and things we have to start looking at. And these eclipses are the awakening. I told people from the very beginning that 2024 is not going to be an easy year. It's going to be a year of really looking into new ways of directing and re-correcting our course upon which we are sailing. Neptune's the ruler of the chart this year because Neptune is in his home sign, and he will not be leaving his sign till next year. And then he meets up with Saturn in Aries. This is a beautiful time of stepping in and surrendering to our higher selves. Then is it okay to do a spell for good fortune before the eclipse and all the crap? Oh, definitely. 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 Step into that high vibration. Step in because you're stepping into the highest good. Right? That's what you want to do. You want to pull down. And the eclipse being in Libra is all about balance. And it's also really looking at what Libra also does. It's reflective. So what is reflective? What are you reflecting? Are you reflecting positive or are you reflecting negative? Are you taking the responsibility for what you are seeing within your life? Or are you reflecting it upon somebody else or something else? So it's about taking that responsibility and not projecting to move forward. And this is where it's, we want to be happy. And in being happy, it's not an instantaneous happiness that you're going to receive. It's a happiness that you're going to have to look at to say, hey, I got some fucking shit to do. I got some work I have to do. Right. And in that, it's taking each moment and finding the joy within each moment, with each connection. And that means slowing down and really being aware of the energy and stepping into the newness that is going to be brought before us. It is a time of really connecting with others and having a high vibration, coming in with that high vibe, right? And as you're coming in with that higher vibration and that frequency, coming in with a frequency that is wanting to, yeah, this is what we want to create. And if there's disruptions with the phones, I mean, they've been doing different things. Like Africa just had, they've been having disruptions because some of the internet lines were cut. And now, was it 2 days ago? Was it 2 days ago? Um, a lot of the major grocery stores in the UK and throughout Europe were having problems, and people were just leaving their carts because they couldn't do anything. They couldn't even open their tills to take cash, so they couldn't do anything. Even I guess the McDonald's even there had issues as well. Russia didn't have any, but those, the UK and other parts had issues. And they said it wasn't a hack. So it had something to do with the system, or the system going down. So, I mean, that's the thing. If it goes down, then it goes down. It's not the end of the world. Although for many, it might feel like the end of the world because they can't use their phone. That means learning how to reconnect in a new and different way, learning how to respond in a new way to one another and to ourselves. And, and the same thing with Kate Middleton. Like, holy fuck me. Everybody wants to know what's happening with Kate. At the end of the day, she's not the one who buys my grocery or pays my bill. I know it's an interesting thing to follow, and it's kind of like, oh my God, is she in a coma? They just found that some of her medical records were leaked. I would be pissed if my medical records were leaked. It's nobody's business about her medical records. If she has a drug problem, God bless her. If she's working through that, God bless her. At least she's working through it. If she's having marital problems, I mean, God, could you imagine having marital problems in front of everybody? I mean, it was bad enough Diane had the marital problems and made it public about 3 people in a marriage doesn't work, depending on what marriage you have, because some it does. But this is the whole thing. They're saying, well, that's our queen. She's our monarch. She's going to be our next queen. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I thought we're moving on from there. I mean, yes, they are a $1 billion industry, and that's exactly what the monarch is in Europe. And I should say in England, it is a $1 billion industry that makes a hell of a lot of fucking money for the government. So, and they live in a really nice house. And it's sad to see that there's problems. Oh, you haven't seen the kids. Well, there's been a lot of times that we didn't see the fucking children. Like, the kids are off doing their own fucking things, whatever it is that they're doing. So, that's the hype. That's the diversion to take you to go somewhere else. And same with this eclipse, is taking you to go somewhere else, and it's taking you to go into a fear place, or into a place that brings you down to a lower vibration. So please look at your higher vibration. Look at a good fortune spell. Look at something that you want to create that is positive, and how you can create that positivity in your life. Pull out your purple and pink candles and yellow candles and begin to light them, and to begin to bring forth that beauty in and around you, right? Because there's going to be a lot more on our plate that we're going to have to fight, and that we're going to be up against, and the changes that are going to be coming forward. But it's how we are going to embrace it, and how we are going to endure it all, and enduring it all with love and light, with passion, with laughter, with creativity, it's going to be a hell of a lot better. And that's where we have to aim our energy at and our practice at. So, whew, it's crazy out there, people. It's crazy. So, I'm going to bring in the Akashic Tarot. Bling. I was looking at my other fairy tarots and I thought, no, not until you make it stop snowing are you allowed to come out. So, no fairies are allowed to come out till it stops snowing. We have snow here till Sunday, I think Steve said. Like yesterday, by the end of the day, the roads weren't bad at all here in Calgary. They it seemed to clear up. I could get to where I needed to get yesterday afternoon. By this morning, the roads were horrendous. And I mean horrendous. Like this was slushy. Trying to turn a corner, you make sure you do it slowly. One guy tried to turn it and he's just going all over the freaking place, leaving lots of room between you and the next person because you think you could stop. And my tires are pretty good on that little car that I got now. So, I mean, I've been able to get out of some places that Steve looks at me. I didn't think you'd get out of there. But it's the road. It's slushy. You could tell it's heavy. It's wet. We have probably over, I would say 7 to 8 inches of snow right now. So it is, and we need the moisture. So the farmers do need the moisture. So that's a real positive thing. It's just that we got a fucking stupid mayor who doesn't put the money towards allocating and cleaning the roads properly, because all the graders should have been out right away cleaning these roads right off. And as you are, I have to tell you my tales and my stories of driving this morning. Going along Crowfoot, it's 3 lanes, right? So you're going along, and I have to be in the 3rd lane because I have to go into a 4th lane to veer off to go up Bow Trail. Going on to that 4th lane, it wasn't clean. It wasn't cleaned yesterday. It wasn't cleaned this morning. So when I go on it, it is just like you drive into total slush and deep snow and pray to God you don't hit the cement etching on the road, and just sort of just keep on going. Like I'm going like this as I'm driving. Oh, we're going that way. Oh, we're going this way. All right. And then finally, being able to veer off to go on to it. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. That's all I got to say. It was a fucking adventure this morning, of going there and then dropping off Mateus and trying to get out of the school. Oh my God. It is hilarious. It is so hilarious watching people. And some of these people, they're new to Canada. They don't know how to fucking drive in this snow. They have no idea, man. And they're just going like, whoo, they're freaking out. And I'm like, you had a year of this. Come on. And then I see this one woman. She ran out of her car, no coat, no nothing. And I'm just like, and she's like, ooh, like this. I'm like, where's your fucking coat? Like, you just took your kid into the schoolyard. You have this light cotton t-shirt on with a skirt. Like, dummy the fuck up, girl. You should know better. Oh my goodness. People, just watching people, it's just hilarious. Anyways, that was my adventure this morning. So, but I do have my coffee. That's the only thing I'd be really, really sad about. One of the things I'd be really, really sad about is if they couldn't get coffee anymore. That's the other thing. On commodities, the amount that cocoa just went up to, was it $3,000 a ton or something like that, or something? It's some outrageous amount that they haven't really seen cocoa go up that much. And same with coffee. So anything to do with chocolate, you're going to see the prices going up. Same with coffee. So the prices of coffee and stuff are going to go up because the commodities just went up. crazy. So anybody who bought into those, man, you're making it. You're making it. So let's see. Tell us about the energy of this eclipse. First card is about the eclipse, the energy of the eclipse. What do I have? I have the Akashic Library, but it was reversed. So I am, it's two. There's more than one. Oh, and then I have force, balance. So I have the Akashic Library, and then I have force. So the Akashic Library coming in. I don't know these cards at all. I say that every time I pull them out. Plus, the book is kind of not the best book in the world. Akashic Library. And it's reversed. Let's see what the Akashic Library says reversed. The stairway leads farther and farther downward. Although you may feel you are in a state of confusion, it is time to go deep. So the eclipse is a time to go deep. The books of your Akashic knowledge may have been toppled, but they are always in reach. So you may have stepped away from psychic guidance and from your inner sage. So it's time to step in. So close your eyes and see them all disperse. With just a little effort, the book of your Akashic records, which seems to have landed face down, can be written and written upon you. Rightened and written upon by you. So great time to go into your Akashic records if you're wanting to do any of Akashic records work at this time, and take a look at what's going on and really step into your guidance with the Akashic records, and then look at what you can bring in. The balance, I can see the balance definitely coming in, especially being in Libra and wanting to bring in the balance. And this is about harmony, balance, and justice, but a desk holds balance scales. Upright, this card indicates that a time of balance is at hand. So bringing that balance in. So if you have been feeling out of balance, take a moment, tap into your Akashic records, calling in the Lords and the Lady of the Akashic, asking for their guidance and asking for their wisdom to show you what it is that you are needing to know. If you are going through anything that is really troubling you at this time, going in there and asking them for that guidance to show you, to help you, to guide you, even to get the answers that you need. So utilizing the Akashic records, and then you can help, then you are able to bring in that balance that you're going to be bringing in, especially during this eclipse time. So as we're going into the lunar eclipse, so finding the comfort, in important issues that are going on, legal issues or other issues that are going on. And justice is a balance in society. So show that the justice is not limited strictly to the court and the contract situations. Justice and our energy. So they reciprocate, are energetic. So the energy you put forth now will return to you in the future. So looking for that inner balance. So for the energies of this eclipse, the energies that are coming in this weekend, and I'm gonna throw it out there too, because I'm doing the lunar readings for everybody who have ordered their lunar readings. You'll be getting them on Sunday. So if you are wanting to receive a lunar reading, and you can order one, and they are $40 to order one. So you could just let me know if you are wanting a lunar reading for this eclipse. So this is to remember that your energy production is up to you. How you produce your energy, how you put your energy, it's up to you. And utilizing that energy at this time, because you can rewrite what it is that you need and the direction that you need to go. Now, remember, when you're rewriting it, doesn't mean it just changes instantly, right? Rewriting it means that then I have to do the work in order to create this. This is what I'm creating. You're just going to have a little bit better direction especially when you're working with the Akashic Records. So in doing that. So that's the energy for this lunar eclipse, and this energy come, as it's Thursday, but we're going to be entering it quite heavily as we go into the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday being the eclipse. So sending you guys out so much love. So may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. I have Erica and I have Charlene down for April 1st for doing the Mercury retrograde workshop that we're going to be doing at 7 p.m. I have 2 spots left for that now because Erica and Charlene took up 2. I'm only taking 4 people because I want to read everybody's chart in that. All right. So just an FYI, I want to make sure that everybody gets a reading of their chart with the Mercury retrograde. Have a great day, everybody. Shine your light. Don't get fearful with all the bullshit that's out there, because there's so much out there. It's just getting stinky, So have a blessed one, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.